All Family Pharmacy, joining us, the co-owner, Michael Kuenzler. Always good to see you, sir. Can you share with us about this winter storm, how that's affected transit across America, especially throughout the Southeast with pharmacy closures across the country? What kinds of problems are you seeing right now with patients and with manufacturers? And specifically, how serious is it for essential medications getting to those who need it?
Yeah, so right now we're seeing tons and tons of delays. I mean, the delays are on our end where they were shipping to a patient, as well as delays coming to us where their wholesalers or the manufacturers are not able to get us the essential medications so that we can ship them out to our patients. Right now, there's a handful of medications that are out of stock just because we're simply waiting on it. Small shipments are arriving day after day, but it's not enough to keep our patient base fully stocked in what they're requesting. So, we're running into these issues. It happens every year in January and February, unfortunately, which is the heart of flu season. So it always happens at this time when most of these flu cases are through the roof.
Oh, I'm sure it's really something. I was just with a bunch of friends and family members getting sick from that flu. And of course, I asked them, where is your Tamiflu? Because when the weather hits, or the supply chains issues get bigger, people realize how vulnerable they are in that moment. So this is not so much a luxury being unprepared, but events like this proving that you need these on hand so that when you get sick, you can actually be taken care of in case there's any issue with snow or ice or any other cataclysmic event.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we contact FedEx probably 3 times a day to see what's going on with the shipments, what's going on with the flights. Ultimately, their main location's out of Memphis. Everything flies into Memphis. Everything flies out of Memphis. So if Memphis airports are shut down, FedEx is not shipping. So right now at the moment we know is we have over 17 to 2,000 packages delayed. And it's delayed not because of us. It's because FedEx is shipping everything ground. We ship everything 2-day air because we know how essential it is to get people their drugs or their medications as quick as possible. So we do FedEx 2-day, and we can get it from Florida to Washington in 2 days. Now they're shipping it ground because the planes just simply can't take off. And that's an ice problem that's happening in Memphis, Tennessee. This has nothing to do with Boca Raton, Florida. 65 degrees out and sunny. The weather is beautiful down here. This has nothing to do with Florida. It has everything to do with the central hub in Memphis, Tennessee, unfortunately.
One of the many reasons why people are flocking to that free Sunshine State year-round. Now, All Family Pharmacy is not just serving patients directly. They're actually working with manufacturers and doctors specifically across the country to expand that access. Now, how does a nationwide provider network help get these essential medications to everyday Americans, like you said, Michael, in normal circumstances, that 2-day air travel, especially in emergencies? And what are you doing now to keep strengthening that access during this storm?
Yeah, so one of the key things that we have started recently, and this has probably been about 6 months back, is we're linking up with providers around the United States, right? Providers have a list of patients that they work directly with. Most Americans, they trust only their doctor. They want to go to just their physician because their physician can guide them in the right way. Most of these physicians are scared to prescribe some of these essential medications, whether it's ahead of time, being prepared, or it's something like ivermectin or mebendazole and people are using it off label and they're scared to prescribe it because they're scared what the insurance companies are going to do to them. They're scared what Medicare thinks about them or the state regulators, the medical board thinks about them. At All Family Pharmacy, we don't take insurance. We don't deal with insurance. We don't report to the insurance companies. That has nothing to do with us. That's why we only take, cash payment. As we state, we don't take insurance because we cut the red tape. We get rid of them because they're nothing but a nuisance. They just get in the way of everything and they restrict access to Americans. They do it on purpose because that's how they make so much money, and the government funds that. I mean, you can see what Trump's already doing right now with, the infant or the newborn money. There's another proposal he has on the table with HSA and FSA accounts, which we would love. It helps people get access to essential medications when they need them or ahead of time so that they have them on hand for instances like right now. So back to my original point, we're working with your physicians. We can work with your doctors around the country. We can work with nutritionists, functional medicine doctors. We can work with essentially anybody within our network. As long as they're a U.S. regulated physician, they're licensed in their state, and they're licensed to prescribe or not prescribe, we can help them. And that's something that we're trying to work on as well, because we want to expand access to these medications. We can expand our services to just your PCP doctor, your regular physician, or your functional health doctor. Because most patients, they're not going to go online and want to order, and then unless they trust us, from a random company in Boca Raton, Florida, or whether it be one of these other sketchy companies that come from India, they're going to want to listen to their physician. We have doctors, we have, multiple physicians that are licensed and located throughout the United States, have done this since 2020 and have no problem doing it. They're not scared of the regulators because everything they're doing is safe and compliant, and it's within state and federal law. So it's something that, we're exploring the idea and helping other physicians and their practices provide these essential medications. And if people simply want to just come directly to allfamilypharmacy.com, we highly suggest it. They can use your discount code. They can use any of the discount codes that we offer. We are always constantly adding discount codes when we feel it's necessary for people to stock up on medications. I don't know if you know, last week we threw a big discount out there right before the winter storm because we got wind of it. We knew what was coming, and we wanted to give people the opportunity to stock up before things got worse. A ton of people took advantage of it. We got their packages out in time. But now there are those who did wait a little bit, and they're unfortunately delayed on their packages. And that's what happens during these massive storms. You never know when the flu is going to come. You never know when a sinus infection is going to come, laryngitis, any of these bacteria infections. It just always randomly pops up at the worst time. So it's always best to stay prepared, especially in the winter season.
And that link right now, allfamilypharmacy.com/emergency-kits for 20% off using code RSBN20. Now, for families watching this, Michael, who might be worried about the next storm or the next outbreak, I was listening this morning to a measles outbreak on the northern end of South Carolina, something the United States has not seen in a period of time. What are the practical steps that viewers today can take so that they can have those essential medications on hand for the next catastrophe, because God knows what's around the corner?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go directly on our website, allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. Obviously, we can use the RSBN coupon code RSBN10 or RSBN to save 10% off your order. You could also give us a call. If you don't know what medications to stock up on, you're unfamiliar with the products that we offer or what's best to have on hand, especially in January and February when the winter months get really cold and these storms come, give us a call. We have customer service agents, we have pharmacy technicians, and we have pharmacists on hand to make recommendations that could help you, that could help your family. We have no problem with people calling us all day long asking for recommendations on what they think is necessary. We have over 4 pharmacists today alone ready to go because we have so many packages we want to ship out, and we want to get to those people who need these medications. So if you have questions, feel free to give us a call. You can always speak to one of our pharmacists. You can always speak to one of our physicians. You can speak to our customer service reps. Sometimes I jump on the phone. Sometimes my business partner jumps on the phone. We've been doing this for 6 years. We talk to every doctor that we work with. We're very knowledgeable now. And what is the best medications to be stocked up on in February? Spring break's right around the corner. Here comes March, right? Travel season. People want to go on cruises. People want to go on vacation because their kids are on spring break. So there are some great months coming around. It's time to stock up. Let's get past this winter storm and, get a couple essential medications in your cabinet so you're ready to go.
And you can do that at allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. Michael Kuenzler, the co-owner of All Family Pharmacy. Thank you, as always, for joining us on this Thursday. You stay safe down there in sunny Florida.
Thank you.